Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद भागवतम की निताय गौर प्रेमानंद All glories to the Assembly Ghost. All glories to the Assembly Ghost. All glories to the Assembly Ghost. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om Ajnanatirmirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya
Chakshurunmetam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manohishtam Sthapitam yena
Bhutale
Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati
Svasupadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta-padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana-raghunatham-nitam Tam Sajivam Sadhaitam Savadhutam Parijana-sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahaganalita Shri Vishakhamyatamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravai Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostude Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shradhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Briefly, I would like to just today share something, few thoughts about the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yeah.
Just we ended Purushottam Mass. So, in the Bhagavatam it is described how this particular scripture is actually Uttama, the best of all. Nimnaganam yatha Ganga, Devanam Achyuto yatha, Vaishnavanam yatha Shambhu, Purananam idam tatha. All the Puranas, this is considered the highest. And in fact is the explanation of Srimad Bhagavatam. Explanation of the Vedanta Sutra. So, by the author himself. So, what could be a better scripture than this? And we also know how this was, the inspiration for compiling this was given to Vyasadeva by Narada when Vyasadeva was dissatisfied after compiling all the Vedic literatures. Ultimately, the scriptures are meant to, give the ultimate perfection by which everyone feels completely satisfied and happy. But here is an author who himself is not satisfied after writing it. So where is the question of somebody finding satisfaction after reading it? So there was an apparent contradiction. And that is why Naraji described the process by which you can become completely satisfied. Yayatma suprasiddha. Suprasiddha means completely satisfied. And that's only possible when properly situated in the constitutional position of loving service to the Supreme Lord. So, Srila Sanatana Goswami, who really extracted the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam and presented it as Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Now, Brihad Bhagavatamrita actually contains two stories. Narada, in search of who's a person who has received the ultimate mercy of the Lord. His search, and it so beautifully is built up over the different levels of mercy, gradually building up in terms of rasas, Shanta, Dasa, Satya, Vatsalya. Eventually it also goes to, Uddhav. Now the search goes to Uddhav because everyone says, including the Dwarkavasis, they say that we are all there, but Uddhav is the closest to Krishna, most intimate associate. No one is as close to him, as close to Krishna as Uddhav. And then when Narada approaches Uddhava, Uddhav says, yeah, actually, I thought so. Till actually, on a mission, he sent me to Vrindavan. And when I saw the gopis in Uddhav Kyari, in Vrindavan, they have a famous quotation. Uddhav Sudho hai gayo. Sun Gopin ki bol. Jnaan bajaye dugdugi, prem bajaye dhol. Uddhava tried to convince the gopis, be pacified. He's like, little dugdugi, not a feather. And when the gopis demonstrated their dhol, huge big drum, so it fades into insignificance. Uddhava realized who is the highest recipient of Krishna's mercy. And the second part of Brihad Bhagavatam beautifully described where is the place where Krishna or the Supreme Lord is at his best. And the search of Gopkumar. He goes everywhere and stays with the Lord. He's happy, but still not fully satisfied. After some time, there is a dissatisfied little bit. Till he actually reaches Golok Vrindavan. And there, because here, God forgets his godhood. And he's not happy if someone reminds him his God. That's the place where he is so human-like, in his ultimate manifestation of his pure love. And people there love him not because he's God, because he's Krishna. He's all attractive, he's all loving, so sweet. So, Sanatana Goswami glorifies in his book Krishna Leelastava. There's 5 verses in glorification of Bhagavatam. And this is worth memorizing and meditating on. Because someone like Sanatana Goswami, who has really relished the essence of Bhagavatam, when he speaks about what is Bhagavatam, he really knows. So these 5 verses are very nectarian. Sarva Shastrabdhi Piyusha Sarva Vedaika Satphala Sarva Siddhanta Ratnadhya Sarva Lokaika Drikprada Sarva Bhagavata Prana Srimad Bhagavata Prabhu Kali Dhvanto Ditaditya Shri Krishna Parivartita Paramananda Pathaya Prema Varshaksharayate Sarvada Sarvasevyaya Sri Krishnaya Namostute Madeka Bandho Matsangi Madguru Manmahadhana Manyastaraka Madbhagya Madananda Namostute Asadhu Sadhutadayin Atinicho Chatakara Anamuncha Kadachimma Prerna Hritkantayo Spura. So in these 5 verses, the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam are so beautifully pointed out by Srila Sanatana Goswami. Sarva Shastra Abdhi Piyusha. Abdhi means ocean. So take all the scriptures of the world and put them in one place, like milk, Kshir Sagar, and you Mantha. Then what comes out, the Piyusha means nectar. So what comes out is Srimad Bhagavatam. So we all know in Srimad Bhagavatam there is mention of Samudra Manthan, where the demigods and the demons are churning. Both have a common interest. Both want the nectar. And both are churning. What comes out first is extremely poisonous substance, halaha. Next, what comes out is so many wonderful, attractive things. You know, Hathi, Ghoda. I say, look, don't fight with the demons. You know, whatever they want to take, you take. And whatever left, you take. Let them take. Give them first chance. And you take whatever. Next one, you take. No problem. So, and finally, you know, nectar comes out. The Dhamantari personally comes holding the nectar. But interestingly, the Lord is not at all interested in that nectar. He gives and goes away. You distribute among yourself, fight among yourself, whatever you want. He's not interested in the nectar. But there is another churning. And that is the churning of Mother Yashoda. You know, she also churning the milk of Padmagandha cows. You know, selected exclusively for Krishna. And she's churning the butter. You know, we had seen that one drama, and that very beautiful music was played and the song of Yashoda. And just that sight, the whole atmosphere in that thing was created so nicely. Just pouring her love, knowing that this butter that is going to come out will be tasted by Krishna. So His Holiness Radha Swami Maharaj, in one lecture, he gave this kind of a comparison. I was like, wow, never thought about this kind of churning. So there are different churnings, he said. In this churning, that nectar come out. Krishna was not interested. Lord was not interested. Butter to look how you can have. But this churning, what was coming out, the butter was nothing but pure love of Mother Yashoda and the gopis. So this nectar, it's not butter, it's actually their love. Krishna wants to steal. Whether you give it, they hide and he steals. Here it comes out, he distributes and goes away. But there, he wants to steal. They hide it, still he steals. That is what Srimad Bhagavatam offers. You know, especially in the 10th canto. So, and just to build up the 10th canto, the 9th cantos are preparing us. So, you know. And then there is the third churning. The third churning is of our own heart. Actually, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem, that love, that nectar is actually there within our heart. But it doesn't come. Just like butter is there in the milk. But there needs to be a process by which Cheto Darpana Marjanam. So when we chant, you know, that's like the churning happening. And the first installment is Pānihāṭi Dhām. So many unwanted things come out. Only when we chant. Then Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vidyavadhu Jivana. Actually, it may also offer us so many wonderful things. You know, Dhanam Janam Sundari, It's a byproduct. Actually, it is a natural byproduct of rendering devotional service. You feel happiness, you feel satisfaction, you feel bliss, you feel joy, and a lot of people may respect you, honor you, worship you as a great devotee. All these are so many wonderful benefits. The side benefits, it's just like if you buy one big packet of surf, you get 2 spoons free. 2 spoons. So like that, these are like byproduct. Mukti swayam mukulitanjali sevate snam. Dharmartha. What to speak of dharmartha kama? Even moksha. The devotee says, Bhagavat says, you keep it yours. I don't know, I'm not interested. There is a whole chapter in Bhakti Yoga Sindhu. Dashame Chaturthe. Rupa Goswami is describing where all Krishna has personally appeared and asked his devotees, ask anything you want, I'm going to give you. In fact, when Lord Chaitanya tells Kulavich Sridhar, ask Sridhar, ask. He says, be peaceful, my Lord. No, I cannot be peaceful till I give you. I'll be peaceful, I'll be happy. When you ask me, all right, we are so interested. I don't want even the spiritual world, he says. He says, let that Nimai keep coming and harassing me and steal my bananas and gold. Let that be my Lord, life after life. This is what Mahaprabhu said. You are a cheater, you are a hypocrite. One day will expose you. The whole world you're showing like a beggar, all torn clothes, and your roof has more holes than the roof. But you are such a cheater, you are hiding a treasure. One day will expose. And in Mahaprakash is the great revelation. The Lord revealed His heart with regard to the devotees, and He revealed the devotees' heart to the whole world. This is Mahaprakash, wherein He showed how each of my devotees absolutely no concern, ahaituki and apratihata bhakti. So this is Piyush, Sarva Shastra Abdhiti, and this is the only thing that Bhagavat is giving. Nothing short of this. Of course, it's extremely high calling. It's a very, very great worshipable goal, but still, of course, artificially one should not be trying to pursue this in life. Many a times in ISKCON you see 2 types of people: those who go into a guilt trip or those who become a hypocrite. Guilt trip because, my God, na dhanam, na janam, na sundari, ashishava padaratam, pinashtanam, adarsanam, varuparava. It seems so high. We are struggling with just our senses, trying to, just control our mind and senses. Still it's a struggle after years and years of, and we are speaking so high. So those who are really sincere and men of integrity, they feel so guilty and they want to say, this is not for me. Maybe I just can never make it. Or they become a hypocrite. ये चबाने वाले दांत, ये दिखाने वाले दांत. So this is to be spoken only on the Dasa, and this is to be lived. This is reality. This is practical. Because it's a fact. You can't kind of. What is our aspiration and where we are? It's impossible. It's a fact. And so therefore, people are torn apart between these. To negotiate this distance seems so difficult. So Bhakti Yoga and Goswami Maharaj in one particular class told how to understand and how to accommodate this. He said, if you look too high, you'll go into depression. So better not look so high. It's like a mountaineer, they are told, don't look down and don't look too high. Just look to the next step. 3 steps are fixed, then you go to the next step. Gradually move. And before long, you know that there is nothing to climb. You realize you are on the top. So he said, if you are on the platform of Adav Shraddha, keep the goal as Anartha Nivritti, Bhajana Kriya. Just like if you are on the ground floor, keep the second floor as a goal and first floor as a means. So as soon as you come to first floor, keep the third floor as a goal and second floor as a means. So in this way you go. So you will not be kind of too much disappointed. Look behind and say, 1 year ago I was like that. I'm slightly better than that. It's good. Good, Radha Gopinath. Keep going. Yes. Go on. So, Adav Shraddha and Sadhu Sangha is the means to achieve Bhajana Kriya. And if you are in the association of devotees, Bhajana Kriya is the means and Nishtha is the goal. At least let us become steady in what we are doing wherever we are. So that is a way to kind of negotiate this, extremely high goal without becoming depressed and without losing enthusiasm. Utsaha, Nishchaya, Dhairya. So our enthusiasm will never go away because of that faith that we are on the right track, Ekeha Kurunandana, but we don't become unduly disturbed or restless. But at the same time, we should not become complacent in the name of Dhairyat. How many lifetimes, someday, no. The hope should be there, Avashya Rakshite Krishna, but at the same time, one should be restless also, dissatisfied with how much I could have done, how less I am doing. But not so much that you go into depression. Shikshastakam Prabhu was once asked this question. Prabhuji, what is a serious devotee? Who is a serious devotee? Bhagavad Gita 7.14. Daivihi esha gunamai mama maya duratya. Realize Maya is very serious. It's a serious business. So take Maya seriously. Don't take it lightly. But if you take only Maya seriously, you will go into depression. Mama Maya duratya. It's impossible. Therefore, that is 50% seriousness. Second 50% seriousness is Mam eva ye prapadyante Maya netam taranti. Haridas Thakur gave initiation to Maya Devi. She said, wow, I have taken the Bhakti Dhām, Ram Naam from Lord Shiva. Now I want Prem Naam from him. And so therefore she took Krishna Naam, Prem Naam. So Lord Chaitanya gives the secret to Raghunath Das Goswami. How to achieve this? He says, Markata Vairagya na karo loka dekhaiya yatha yogya vishay bhanja anasakta hoiya. Don't artificially show yourself to be on a platform that you are not. Just be grounded. Head in the clouds, but feet on the ground. Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Our aspiration is there, head in the cloud, but feet on the ground. Gopi Bharto Padakamali Das, 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 Anudas. Keeping very grounded. So, he says, Antare Nishtha Koro, Bahye Loka Vyavahar, Achirat Krishna Tamay Korive Udhar. Antare Nishtha Koro. Within, one should aspire for nothing short of this. Nothing short. That's the ultimate aspiration. At the same time, Bahya Loka Vyavahar. Pound, shilling and pence man. Very Prabhupada said, I'm a Kolkata boy. I'm a very smart guy. Like Raghunath Das Goswami acted. Very smart in dealings, but indifferent. This is Yukta Vairagya. Anasaktasya Vishaya, not detached, but indifferent. Anasaktasya Vishaya, Yatha Arham Upayunjata. Senses are meant to be satisfied, not unduly gratified. Bhakti Yoga Thakur explains what is the difference between sense gratification and sense gratification. One is sense gratification, another one is sense gratification. He said if the objects of the senses are accept as much as necessary, whatever is favorable, and accept it as a mercy of the Lord. So that is Yatharham Upayunjata Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yukta Vairagyamachati. So, as Krishna also says in the Gita, Mam Anusmara Yudhyacha. Internally, always think of me. But externally, fight. You are a warrior on a battlefield. Fight. Perform your duty, but keeping me in the center. Same thing. The demons are also doing churning. The demigods are also churning. They are in the same place. They want the same thing. They are also doing the same activity. Activity is also the same. But the result was different because they had faith in different. They were doing because the Lord had told, just continue doing. Absolutely, it was very obvious that they will not get it because the demons were powerful, and when the nectar comes, they knew these guys, you can't trust them. Goody, they will strike a deal and all that. But when the real nectar comes, and they actually did that, they just grabbed it and said to the demigods. But they had faith. And they had also no idea. They're just watching. Imagine the demons take away and they're just watching. Poor demigods. Itna mar ke tapasya kiya. And the nectar comes and they're watching helplessly. And the demon, and it's gone. But they had faith. Nishchayat. The Lord had told, He will do something. And then they started fighting amongst themselves. And then Mohini came and yeah. Very smooth. First, example, I knew better. Everyone sitting on that. And she's smiling there and offering here. Amazing. Vishnu Maya. So, Antare Nishtha Karo, Bahya Loka Vyavahar. So, that is the what Bhagavatam offers. Sarva Shastra Abdhi Piyusha. This is the nectar. So practical, yet so sublime, unimaginable. No other than Chaitanya could offer this in Kali Yuga. Anarpita Charinchirat, Karunaya Avatirnatalo, Samarpaitul Unnata Ujjaratha. That's what Lord Chaitanya, that's why Rupa Goswami was shocked when he thought, what is this Lord coming and drowning everyone in Varanasi? That is the way he composed this. Namo Mahavadanya, Krishna Prema. This nectar you are distributing like water. Nal khol ke rakhte hain this. And in India sometimes the tap is broken. It's going on. It's going on and on. Gutter mein bhi ja raha hai pani. Sometimes pipes are broken. Fountain is flowing. Free of cost. Another place you have to pay. But here it is just going down the drain. Patra apatra na dekhe sthana sthan. Jai jahan paaye tahan kare prema dhan. So it's so difficult to imagine Sri Krishna Chaitanya Daya Koroho Vichar Vichar Korile Chitte Pave Chamatkar. It's astonishing. What is the Lord giving? And to whom? The highest thing to the lowest people. This is the paradox, the climax. So, Sarva Shastra Dipiyush. Sarva Vedaika Saphala. Nigama Kalpatarur Galitam Phalam. So, one devotee explained very nicely. I don't know where it is from. I need to check. But it seemed so nice. Gama means to go down. And Nigama means protect someone from going down. That is Nigama. Through rules and regulations, Vidhi and Nisheth, the scriptures tries to elevate us. Loke vivaya amisha madhya seva nityasya jantur nahitra chodha. The nature of the body being matter, is going down, 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 down. And the nature of the spirit is to go up, up, up. This is the struggle. And we are caught in between. We have a material body and a spirit soul. And the contact between the two is the subtle body, the mind. The mind goes there, and Krishna says, Man mana. So this is the struggle. And so therefore, Nigama, Kalpataro, but simultaneously it gives whatever you want. Vidya thilavate vidya, dhana thilavate dhanam, putra thilavate putra. So whatever you want, it gives. Nigama Kalpataru. If you do it, required austerity, you will get what you want. But Galitam Phalam, the ripened fruit of all these scriptures, ultimately, Prema Pumartho Mahan, is that pure love, unalloyed, uninterrupted love. So, Sarva Vedaika Saphala, eternal. This is eternal and this is the purest. Saphala. Sarva Siddhanta Ratna Adhya. It's like a mine of all conclusions of scriptures, of all philosophical conclusions. Idam hi pumsa tapasa shrutasya va svishtasya suktasya cha buddhi dattayo avichutotham kavibhir nirupito yaduttama shloka gunan varnam. The ultimate purpose of all the knowledge, whether it's chemistry, physics, biology, politics, sociology, economics, the purpose of all of this, philosophy, all the Vada, stops at this. The perfection of those is to utilize it for glorification of the Lord and purification of the self. Nothing else. And if it is not used, it's all Shramayeva Hikeva. Simply waste of labor. So the purpose of all this body of knowledge is simply Avichyutotha. This is the infallible purpose. Everything else will be fallible. So Sarva Siddhanta Ratna and Bhagavatam shows how devotees, powerful kings, used politics or statesmanship to bring everyone to Krishna. Ambarish Maharaj, Yudhishthira Maharaj. How great scholars utilized simply their knowledge to glorify the Lord. So everyone, all the body of knowledge, how psychology is to understand the nature of all of these, the nature of people in this world, so that to remain protected from bewilderment and also achieve perfection. So, Sarva Siddhanta Ratnadhya, Sarva Lokaika Dhriprada. We are all blind actually, blinded by the dazzle of Maya. And in that we go into darkness. Pashyan api na pashyan. You're seeing but you can't see anything. That's the nature of Maya. Avaranatmika Shakti. She just covers, just can't see. It's so obvious. It's so obvious, but you can't see it. It's so amazing how people say there is no creator. This is the height. How can you say there is no creator? Behind this mobile phone there is no creator, behind the microphone there is no creator. Just dropped from the sky. How? And then you see such amazing creation, and behind it there is no creator. And they have so many big degrees attached to their names. So foolish actually. This is the proof of Vishnu Maya. Maya apahata jnana. Just stolen away. Just like a zombie they are walking, they have no idea. You tell them and it just doesn't make sense. Just doesn't make sense. Actually the philosophy is so easy. You are not the body, you are the soul. Krishna is a God. Get connected, chant Hare Krishna. Truly speaking, essence is there are only three truths. Bhakta, Bhagwan and Bhakti. Finish. What's the difficulty? As Prabhupada said, what is the difficulty? This is the difficulty. We are not simple. Philosophy is very simple. But mind, under the influence of the ego, complicated false ego, it gives so many justifications and so many reasons why not to accept God. Because if you accept God, you don't have no other than to surrender. That is too difficult for the ego to actually accept. Amazing, our Burijan Prabhu in his unveiling his lotus feet and describes Kali Yuga. He says it's just so simple. The analysis is mind-boggling. So beautifully analyzed. He said Kali does only one thing. Kali doesn't do anything. Kali just pops up the ego. That's all. And just watches the drama. Everyone's ego is popped up. Because what is the conclusion? Nityo nityanam chetanas chetananam eko bahunam yovidadhatika. That's simple. There is a maintainer and there is a maintained. Everyone is being maintained. And he is the maintainer. Very simple. But in Kali Yuga, so there are different relationships of maintainer and the maintained. The parents and the children, the husband and the wife, the congregation, or the guru and the disciples, the administrative king and the subjects. So what Kali does is shows undeniable mistakes of the maintainers and whispers in the ear, look at that example. How she was exploited by her husband. How abused, children were abused. How the leaders were so corrupt. How saintly people proved to be hypocrites. And undeniable. Newspaper sees every day in and day out. And then Kali whispers in your ear. Bola tha tene. I told you. Therefore, rebel. Just rebel. So rebelling again, Guru na sasyat, Sudhara na sasyat, Pita na sasyat, Jana na sasyat. Actually, all of these people are supposed to be doing that role on behalf of the Lord. Because, Tumeva Mata cha Pita Tumeva, Tumeva Bandhu cha Sata. Actually, he is the one. And on behalf of him, they are supposed to be playing the role. But when they, instead of Rakshak, they become Bhakshak. Kali whispers in the ear, I told you. And therefore they rebel. When they rebel, they become independent. They say, break all the tradition, break all this, all this old. Anything old is no more gold. Anything old is useless. Evolve. The world is evolving. And our hero is Darwin. From the monkeys to the humans. From the branches to the benches of all our top universities. So we are evolving. Evolving means anything old, anything traditional, anything what our ancestors said, useless. What science is telling is truth. Whatever is newly being thought out is the truth. And it's undeniable because there is substantial. Here also you see, and there are examples everywhere to prove for both of these things. Therefore, break free from the chains of traditionalism. Now think for yourself. So once they break away from this very protective and nice atmosphere, naturally, nature of the soul is to be dependent. Just look at a child sleeping on a mother's lap. So peaceful, nischint, no anxiety. But as soon as you break away, when the children walk away, the women walk away, when the independent, which is undeniable, they have to do. What else will they do? Because they see exploitation everywhere. But the nature of the soul is, whoever feels independent, first thing is anxiety. You have to fend for yourself now. Second is loneliness. You feel so lonely. We see sometimes. I was in Sydney. There was this 92-year-old lady sitting on Sita Leela Mataji, one of our god sisters. Her next door neighbor, 92-year-old, on her own. She's very fit and trying to do. But she's so lonely. And dissatisfaction. Because the nature of the soul is to be satisfied in a very sweet, loving relationship of seva. But then there is a lacking, and therefore there is dissatisfaction. Because in service we feel satisfaction. Service to a very, very worshipable authority, we find satisfaction actually. But if that is not there, there is a dissatisfaction. And therefore, Kali comes and whispers, you feel anxiety? Yes. Don't worry. Science will come to your rescue. He is the Kali Yuga God. Anxiety? Here are all kinds of intoxications. Take this. No anxiety. Damodar Dhām. So all kinds of intoxications. You're feeling lonely? I will give you virtual reality. Therefore people want gadgets. Gadgets are gods for today because they give that, at least that loneliness is removed. And you are dissatisfied because you want relationship but you don't want responsibility. And therefore have one night stand, that's all. You get satisfied without responsibility. And therefore we find these things are so common. Everyone knows, but they just can't avoid it. Who doesn't know that these are not favorable? They just can't avoid it because that's the reality in Kali Yuga. So, yeah, and the solution is Kali Yuga Yuga Avatar. And the Yuga Avatar comes. Now, Kali simply puffs up the ego, and Yuga Avatar comes to blow that balloon. So he comes with a pin, and that pin is the holy name. Haranameva Kevalam. You blow this, but this egoic balloon is so thick-skinned. You need a lot of strength to, and that strength comes from four things. Sorry, not the four related principles. It comes from Pranadapi Sunichena, Tarori Vaseshuna, Avanina Manade. Jayam Kirtanya Sada. You can hold this needle. And all of them are connected with the false ego. The egoistic mind cannot be humble. Cannot tolerate someone giving different opinion. My way or the highway. Cannot. Its nourishment is respect. And what it hates to do is to give respect to others. And therefore, we are so weak even to hold the pin. The pin is there to just blow this. But we lack the strength to even hold it. So, Kali's job is so simple. And Lord Chaitanya's job is also so simple. But we are not so simple. That's the problem. If you understand, it's so simple actually. Let's do this, Sarva Lokaika Dhriprada. If this can be seen, if this can be understood, Chakshuhu Unmilitamya. That's why Srila Prabhupada, when he went to the West, to this big, American ego, those who were realistic, who were frustrated and were desperately searching for some alternative, Prabhupada gave this alternative. So these people who had a rule that, don't trust anyone above 30, are giving their life to a 70-year-old man. How? Because he created faith in the ultimate maintainer. Because they could see him, because they don't understand who Krishna is. But they see in him. He's a person, as I think Malti Devi Mataji expressed this, says, we one thing is not come to cheat us. In Kali Yuga, to give that trust where there is faithlessness, it's not easy. Kali means two things, quarrel and hypocrisy. Kali is, and ego manifests individually as hypocrisy, because I want to show something, I am something. And collectively, ego manifests as quarrel. My way or the highway. I want what I want when I want. If you got a way, you go your way, I go. Two people come together. So that's the nature of Kali. That's the nature of ego. And Mahaprabhu comes with Sankirtan, the chanting of the holy name, which brings integrity and unity. Integrity of walking one's talk in terms of, being not ego, but outside and inside is the same. And collectively it brings about unity. Sankirtan, keeping Krishna in the center. Yes, we may have difference of our opinion, we may have differences of our nature, difference of the way we want to serve Krishna. That's all right. That's all right. It's understandable. Unity in diversity. Achintya bheda abheda. Without understanding the principles of unity in diversity, it's impossible for us to come together and spread the Sankirtan movement. We are united in our intention to please Guru and Krishna, but we are diverse in terms of our ways of doing it. That's all right. It's all right. Even in the spiritual world, there are left-wing gopis and the right-wing gopis. It's Chandravali group and there is Radharani group at the highest level. But they are simply wanting to, understanding that both are, intention is both to please Krishna. And so they are able to accommodate. So, yeah. Drishta. Sarvalokaika Dhriprada. Sarvalokaika Dhriprada. It does provide the vision. And Prabhupada had that vision, and therefore he united the East and the West. Win-win. The best of the East, the wisdom, and the best of the West, their resources. And he combined to form an international society and show to the world how practical it is, provided we have the depth of the understanding, the width of its application, the breadth of its application. So this philosophy, the more we study Bhagavatam, it helps us to go deeper, see broader, and come closer to Krishna. It's such an amazing philosophy. Really, if you understand Bhagavatam. That's why Sanatana Goswami says, Madaika Bandho, Mat Sangi, Mat Guru, Mad Mahadhana, Mad Nistaraka, Mad Bhagya, Madananda Namostu. What a verse. Our Gauranga Darshan Prabhu, in all his Bhagavatam Subodhini, has chosen this verse as the introductory part of the text. First one, first page, what do you call it? Just for putting the
Preface.
Preface. Such a beautiful verse. You know, to develop motivation to study Bhagavatam. This is the one verse that can be chanted just before opening it. Mad Eka Bandho. Bandho is friend. A friend in need is a friend indeed. You know? And when are we in most need? At the time of death. Who can help? Prana prayana samaye kapavada pittai kanthavaro vidau smaranam pudaste. So, it's so difficult, but it is so easy if we are always. Bhishma Pitama is showing in Bhagavatam. Parikshit Maharaj is showing Tamopayatam Pratiyantu Vipra Gangacha Devi Dhrita Chitta Mishe. Because I have held the Lord in my heart now, I don't care. Let that whatever, let Takshak do his business. Shukadeva Goswami, you do your business. Let me do my business of hearing. Let's all mind our own business. The problem is, in Kali Yuga, everyone minds everyone else's business except one's own business. So, Madaika Bandho, Mat Sangi, my companion, Mahavishnu Swami Maharaj's disciples. You can't see them without a Bhagavatam small volume with them. Wherever they go, in their bag you will always find one Bhagavatam. That Singapore edition, Chota. Because Mahavishnu Maharaj was a Pakka Bhagavatam lover. So Devkinandan Prabhu, Singapore, he is also like that. They relish Bhagavatam. No, they just, whatever you say, they correct to Bhagavatam. Not some the end. If they get 5 minutes time in the bus stop, waiting, open up Bhagavatam. Mat Sangi, Mat Guru, Chakshuhu Nilitabhyena, Tasmai Shri Guru. So actually, when you see from the Bhagavatam, now I was trying to do one talk on Mahabharata. One full 5-day session I was doing on Krishna from the Mahabharata perspective. So at that time, Bhakti Yoga Maharaj had come to Kolhapur. This was in Kolhapur. So he was asked to share a few words before I start my seminar. And amazing, so beautifully he said, you have to wear 2 spectacles before studying Bhagavatam. Before studying Mahabharata. He said, first you should put the spectacles of Bhagavatam.
Hari Bol.
And then you put the spectacles of Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Amen.
Then you will never misunderstand. Otherwise, after reading Mahabharata, you will doubt whether Krishna is God. So many of the wives of Krishna stolen. My God, if you read that section, plundering, it's extremely confusing. And also there is a story, Sanatana Goswami says, Lord Vishnu pulled out 2 hairs, one black and one white, and put it down, and Krishna and Balaram came. So many stories like that, where Krishna appears to be almost like an ordinary person, even though again and again is glorified. Bhishma is glorifying just before us. Full glorification that you are so. Still after reading Mahabharata, can you imagine the whole world, whole India at least reads Mahabharata, still they are not convinced Krishna's supremacy. Why is it? Without these spectacles, hazy. Mahabharata is hazy. So he said, put these 2 spectacles.
Wow.
And then when you read, first put the spectacles of the Moola Sutra of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Krishna's to Bhagavan Swayam.
Yes. Indrari Vakulam Lokam Radayanti Yuga Yuga. Ete cha Amshakala Omsaha Krishna's to Bhagavan Swayam. All this, and Lord Chaitanya, if you read Chaitanya Charitamrita, yad advaitam brahmopanishadi tadapi asya tanubha atma antaryami purusha iti sosyamsha vibhava shadaishwarya purnoya iha bhagavan sasvayam Shri Krishnakhyam. What is the word? This Chaitanya is absolutely non-different from Shri Krishna. So, yeah, Drikprada, Madaika Bandho, Mat Sangi, Mat Guru, Man Mahadhana. Everyone keeps their treasure nicely locked up. They don't keep it near the window outside. Treasure. So every Vaishnava, if you call yourself a Vaishnava, and if there is no Bhagavatam in your home, if you don't have, contact me. I can supply. Anyway, this is not a promotional campaign. There is no Bhadra Purnima coming. But the fact is, Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Avalam Yat Vaishnavanam Priyam. How can you live without the life? The life of Vaishnava is Srimad Bhagavatam. Mad Guru, Man Mahadhana. This is my treasure. Sometimes people keep their treasure, encyclopedia, others treasure. At least if you don't read it, still keep it. Then people will come, oh, Vaishnava. Sometimes I go to some people's home and I say, Prabhu, kuch bolo na, kuch bolta hu. Chautha skam nikalo. I specifically don't ask for first canto. Because first canto they have removed the cover to get autograph. I said fourth canto, second part nikalo. Inauguration ceremony. चलो एक और कम से कम निकला. Even in my room, all the things are not yet open. Sometimes I specifically go and pull out. So, Man Mahadhana, Man Nistaraka, actually only this Vastava Vastu Atra Shivadam Tapatraya Unmulanam. Completely from the root it pulls out all the Tapatraya. So, Man Nistaraka, Mad Bhagya. It's our good fortune in this human life if we have access to Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yeah.
And if you don't understand, one who has tasted this, Kimva Parai Ishwara. That's why Bhagavad right at the outset says, Kimva, which other scripture? ये तुला nectar पीने के बाद, गुलाब जामुन रखा हुआ है, उसके बाद ये थोड़ा खाना है, नहीं ये तुम ही रखो, तुम लोग completely satisfied. Suprasidati. So, Madbhagya, this is good fortune that in the human form of life, if we have access, at least an appreciation, if we recognize and acknowledge Srimad Bhagavatam, what to speak of reading it, what to speak of relishing it, and what to speak of sharing it. Mad Ananda Namostute. And what kind of Ananda is this? Paramananda. So there's such a sweet glorification coming from the lotus mouth of Sanatana Goswami. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Jai.
3 verses are left.
Yeah, kabhi baad mein karenge. But it's like that. It's every verse is. So.
अमृत पीकर अभी भी अतृप्त है.
Yes, वयम तु न वितृप्याम उत्तम श्लोक विक्रमे यत् शृण्वताम सज्ञानाम स्वादु स्वादु पदते. It's a fact actually. Bhagavatam actually manifests when there is 3 things. A right consciousness of the receptivity of the people who are there in the mood of in the mood of Parikshit Maharaj. If the speaker is genuinely representing Sukadeva Goswami's words in Parampara, and if there is the environment that is conducive, where it is favorable to this exchange to happen, then automatically Bhagavad manifests. Bhagavad is always there. Bhagavad is always there. For it to manifest, that eagerness, that genuineness in terms of presenting it in parampara, and the right mood and the environment that was created in that situation. Yeah, so I also don't know what I spoke, but I just started speaking. And just because of your eagerness and desire to hear, that's why it says, yeah, aham vedmi, sukho vedti, vyasa vedti na vedti va. I know, Sukadeva Goswami knows, but Vyasa, whether he knows or not. And explain it to Sukadeva Goswami. He doesn't know. What is understanding? Prabhu, Amarendra Prabhu, कुछ बोलो इसके बारे में. क्या सुने हो आप इसके बारे में? कुछ सुनाओ. माइक दो. थोड़ा रेसिप्रोकेशन हो जाए, फिर बाद में दामोदर प्रभु भी सुनाए. चुपचाप बैठे हुए लूट रहे हैं, हमको भी बांटो.
गुरुवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तदालये
इकडे तो
नहीं अहम वेद्मि शुको वेत्ति व्यास वेत्ति न वेत्ति वा भक्त्या भागवतं ग्राह्यं न बुद्ध्या न चटीकया. I heard from the lips of my Guru Maharaj, Srila Radha Govinda Maharaj, the explanation of this verse, where Guru Maharaj said, Aham Vedmi, Lord Shiva is saying, I know. And Shuko Vekti, and Shukadeva Goswami knows. Vyasa Vekti na Vekti va. Not sure. अभी हिंदी में कहूँ, अगर महाराज जी कहते थे कि व्यासदेव जानते हैं कि नहीं जानते, इस पर वाद अपवाद है. क्यों? यदि उन व्यास को पकड़ा जाए जो नारद मुनि से पूर्व, नारद मुनि के उपदेश पूर्व सभी शास्त्रों का चयन किए, तो फिर वो नहीं जानते. और जो गुरु के अधीन होकर गुरु के शब्दानुसार भागवत का स्पष्टीकरण किए, हाँ वो व्यास जानते हैं. So if it is Vyas himself who composed all the Vedas, then no Vedi. And if it is that Vyasdev who surrendered to Narad Muni and under Tishtam Braje Tad Anuragi Jananugami, under the advice of his spiritual master, then Vedi. Athva, if Vyasdev is seen as Krishna, as the Supreme Lord, then no Vedi. But if Vyasdev is seen as a Bhakta, full of bhakti, then Vedi. So Guru Maharaj said, because Krishna, Bhaktya Bhagavatam Grahyam, and Bhakti is defined as Krishna Anushilanam. So Krishna cannot be Krishna Anushilanam.
Haribol.
So therefore Krishna cannot have Bhakti for himself. So therefore Krishna na Vedi. But Radharani, who is non-different from Krishna, Vedi. So therefore Krishna becomes Radha as Chaitanya, and therefore jao Bhagavata padho Vaishnavera sthane ekanta ashraya karo Chaitanya charana.
Jai Ho! Jai Ho!
Guru Maharaj said this is why the way Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna in the mood of Radharani as the Supreme Lord in the mood of the Supreme Devotee, with the highest expressions of Mahabhava understood Bhagavatam, no other Acharya or no other incarnation of God can. Therefore, about Vyasadeva, if he is Bhagavan, then Naveti. If he is Bhakta Shivamani, then Veti. If he is independent, Naveti. If he is a Sat Sishya, then Veti.
If he's Vrindavan Thakur.
Hari
Damodar Prabhu, आइए ना please. Please, let the nectar flow.
अभी थोड़ा प्रकाश डालो प्रभु.
Yeah, please.
ये पागलों का सभा है. महाप्रभु बोले सार्वभौम भट्टाचार्य को he gave 9 meaning of what shloka? Atmaram shloka. But when Sanatana Goswami asked, he gave 61. I said, he said, I don't know what I gave. You are mad, I am mad. Mad people get mad. So therefore, 61 meanings came. I don't know what I spoke.
Hare Krishna. I am just trying to absorb, feeling blessed. Want to congratulate. So blessed to hear from Amrita Prabhu, Radha Gopinath Prabhu. And Radha Gopinath Prabhu was just reciting these verses. I was looking at these verses by Sanatana Goswami. So Sanatana Goswami, nice flow. I was just seeing the nice flow. So Sanatana Goswami is saying that how Srimad Bhagavatam gives us Sarva Shastra Abdi Piyush, which gives the nectar. And then not just the nectar, it gives us sweet fruit. And the next word describes the sweet fruit of Srimad Bhagavatam. Satphalam, yeah. So Sarva Shastra Abdi Piyush, Sarva Vedanta Satphalam. So people in Kali Yuga are thirsty, hungry, poor and blind. Therefore Srimad Bhagavatam, especially, is very merciful in giving nectar to drink, in giving, satphala, very sweet fruit, and it gives people who are very poor, because it's giving ratnadhya, giving the most valuable jewel, and because people are blind, it's giving the vision. So, and therefore for that
Anyone
reason,
not had breakfast, don't worry.
yeah, so therefore, because Srimad Bhagavatam is giving these 4 things to people who are thirsty, hungry, poor and blind, therefore next verse says, therefore Srimad Bhagavatam is the real master. It's not the Srimad Bhagavatam. Sarva Bhagavata Prana, Srimad Bhagavata Prabhu. So without food, water, without vision, without any wealth, people will simply die. Therefore Srimad Bhagavatam is prana, it is life-giving to us. And Srimad Bhagavatam, real master. Master is one who gives us food, water, some wealth and guidance, direction. So therefore Srimad Bhagavatam is described as the real master. But someone will say, but I thought Krishna is the real master. Ekala Ishvara Krishna Artha Krishna is the real master. Yes. Third verse, next word describes, yes, so Krishna is the real master. He has transformed himself into Srimad Bhagavatam at the end of Kali Yuga. That's the next verse. So, yeah, the next verse. Sarva Bhagavatam, no, it's the same verse. Sarva Bhagavata Prana, Srimad Bhagavatam Prabhu, Kali Dhwan Udidaditya, Shri Krishna Parivartita. In the same verse, our master Lord Shri Krishna has transformed himself into Srimad Bhagavatam, especially at the end of Kali Yuga. Although Srimad Bhagavatam is eternal, but when it says he is transformed, means he has manifested himself, specially. And one can say that what this master rewards, what is the salary the master gives to the servant, and that is described in the next verse. Paramananda Pathaya Prem Agarshayate Sarvada Sarvasevyaya Shri Krishna Namastute. Therefore, next verse offers obeisance to Shri Krishna, the master in Bhagavatam. So the same Krishna comes as in Bhagavatam. This is the salary, this is the reward the master gives, and therefore all obeisances to that master, action of the master. So I just could see the 3 verses flow.
What is salary? Prem.
Salary is
Paramananda.
Paramananda, the great joy the master gives. So one will not experience any frustration serving this master. Hare Krishna.
आगे तो कभी कुछ कनेक्शन है?
आपने ज़्यादा कवर किया. I was just going when you were describing, I was just seeing
आधा खिला के छोड़ दिया यार
आपने आधे सर्विंग किया
लोगों को पूरा हो गया
हरे कृष्ण
That was a nice connection.
Thank you, Prabhu. So, do you have any questions?
Yes.
just sit behind.
Thank you for the honor. Prabhuji, you said that Bhakti Maharaj said that we should not think of the spiritual, the highest goal, but we should think of the next step. Like if you are at Bhajan Kriya, we should think of Ananta Vidriti and
Bhakti Vigyan Goswami.
Bhakti Vigyan.
Yeah.
So Prabhuji, if we have to think of the next step, how do we know if we are at Ananta Nivritti or we are at Nishtha or we are at Bhajan
No,
Kriya?
he said there are like some goals to reach the ultimate goal. Now, we don't lose track of the ultimate goal, but these are the steps. Otherwise, we can get discouraged.
So how do we know what step exactly are we at?
Very good. Good question.
मैं कहाँ हूँ?
I think Bhurijan Prabhu, in his book Japa Reform, or in a talk, I don't remember where. Yeah, Japa book only. He says, like a 9-storied building. Sadhu Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajane Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Bhava, Prem. He says, the higher you go, the lower things become more broader, like a pyramid. Imagine like a pyramid. So, Sadhu Shraddha, little faith you have, even if you doubt, does Krishna really exist? You are a devotee. Because 50% chance that Krishna may exist, 50% doesn't, that means at least 50% faith is there. Then you come in the association of devotees, it enhances. So when you are getting attracted to sadhu sangha and remain in sadhu sangha, that means there is Shraddha. Because without Shraddha, you won't come to sadhu sangha. So if you are regularly associating with devotees, that means Shraddha is relatively more solidified now, or broader. And the result of sadhu sangha is you take up the process of service, devotional service. Vasudeva Katharuchi, San Mahat Sevaya. So, whomever we serve, we develop their qualities. And their qualities, their attraction for serving Krishna. So, Bhajana Kriya. So, if you are in Bhajana Kriya, that means Sadhu Sangha is really taken advantage of and Shraddha is further increased. And if you are doing Bhajana Kriya properly, then anarthas are going away. The more anarthas go away, Nishtha, Naishtiki Bhakti. Before it was Anishtita. Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So Nishtha comes, then gradually anarthas are going. It's not unstable, but it's relatively more stable. So like that, as you go higher, the lower things are becoming solidified. So it's not about where we are right now. It's not like a silos, independent silos. Go there, go. No. They're, each one is kind of propelling one to the next also. So sometimes we may find Ruchi and sometimes we may not find Ruchi. So, and someday we may suddenly get tears in the eyes. Arey bhav. But don't give too much bhav to that. Because it may go away tomorrow, it may not exist. So we are kind of moving, sometimes we go like this, but just the fact that we are engaging steadily, at least we know that we are moving in the right direction. So like that. And of course, in this world, in this lifetime, if he can overcome Anartha Nivritti, I think you deserve a gold medal. We are struggling. And I think one thing Jananivas Prabhu had once told, somebody asked him, Prabhu, what about this bhav? What bhav? And typically his style of asking. He said, you don't worry. Till Ruchi, Asakti, is our effort, our endeavor. Beyond that, it is awarded. Bhava is awarded by the Lord. Is what, that's beyond us. So our effort we make moving in this direction. And actually we don't need to worry so much about where we are. But at least we should be knowing which direction we are going. If that is okay, that's why, Utsaha, Nishcha, Dhairya. At least we are facing the right direction. If that is there, these are little kind of gray areas and we keep moving in the direction.
Thank you.
Anyone heard something else about it? You can share whatever. If you have heard something from somewhere regarding this. But this is basically, of course, a devotee never, feels like that. Sridhar Viraju, the way he speaks. I mean, he actually feels, he's not just, being poetic. Then he says that I'm so fallen like that. So, it's, the higher you go, the lower you feel. So therefore, it's very difficult to determine in one sense. Because others can determine, we cannot determine the nature of the Vaishnavas to feel.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, thank you so much for the wonderful class. Just one question. You mentioned about two categories of the devotees, right? That sometimes one become guilty feeling category, and then the other one you said the hypocrisy, right? So,
apparently they feel they are acting hypocritically because they are speaking such exalted philosophy sitting on the Vyasasana. But when they are also understanding that I'm not living on that platform, so,
yes.
And they are strongly speaking. Everyone must do it, and they themselves are not doing. How can they even speak like that? But I know it's not so easy. So it appears sometimes that am I living a dual life? I'm speaking something, but I'm doing some things. See, or somebody in a very immature stage can give it up thinking, well, this is too much for me. Or sometimes they see hypocrisy, what appears to them in an immature stage. He speaks like that, but look what he does. And so therefore they may feel that I don't want to be hypocrite, I would rather go away. And this seems to be very high. So I would rather go away. This is what I have kind of observed broadly, these kind of categories of people. Sometimes they feel guilty that they are like this or like this. And there are people who find fault, he speaks like that, but his life is like this. It's very easy. Somebody sent me a nice message, I really liked it. He said, we judge others by their action and we judge ourselves by our intention. We should do it the other way around. Judge others by their intention and ourselves by our actions. So like that, rather than judging, we understand. It is tough, but it is. And therefore, a broader understanding of scriptures also helps us. It helps us understand that we are not really, we are moving. These thoughts come. These are some reflections. Where I don't think, what's happening? Even Raghunath Das Goswami felt like that. What is this? I'm wasting my time. He's not writing just like that, he's actually thinking. So if you hear that, we will say, no. So what was your question? The question was,
Guruji, thanks for sharing for the details. The same, especially about the hypocrisy, right? So many times you just being conditioned, right, and living in a more materialistic world, right? You try to fit into certain category, and then you develop those kind of attitude. So what should we be careful about that being hypocrite versus more realistic?
Therefore, devotee should have saralata within. You should have the simplicity within their heart. But then do the needful. You know, can't judge. We find Gadadhar Pandit judged Pundarik Vidyanidhi. But it was proved to be wrong. Pundarik Vidyanidhi judged the Jagannath Pandas and instantly got punished. No, don't judge them. I accept their service. It's very interesting. Pradyumna Mishra judged Ramanand Rai. I don't want to hear from this book. But again he went and then he heard. So you again and again see the lives of devotees, how different people try to judge. And they were corrected later. And they realized. And in the association of devotees, we feel encourages. And also under the expert guidance of an advanced devotee, than us who can share with us, you may feel like that, but it's not like that. It's a part of the journey. And otherwise, if you are just our own, because Maya through the ego and the mind can give us justification to walk away from devotion. It's better to be rather than exhibiting hypocrisy like this, better to live a full-fledged material life. And that's again we are being cheated. So yes, we need to be, in the protected and the good association, so that we continue on.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Prabhu.
Thank you. His Grace Radha Gopinath Prabhu ki
Jai.
His Grace Damodar Prabhu ki
Jai.
His Grace Amarendra Prabhu ki
Jai.
Sadi Gadadhar Prabhu ki
Jai.
Gaur Bhakta Vrinde ki
Jai.
Hare Krishna, there will be prasadam now.